Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In the previous video, I showed you how to build a 2 kilowatts SMPS driver board. In this video, I will guide you step by step on how to connect everything together to complete a fully functional 2 kilowatts power supply system. This is the main power board, which includes a soft start function using an NTC thermistor combined with a relay. 3 5A bridge rectifiers are used to convert the AC input voltage into DC. This section generates the plus 12 volts and minus 12 volt supply voltages for the control circuit. This is the 12 volts power supply used to power the cooling fan. The output is rectified using a full bridge configuration with 4 diodes, then filtered through 2 inductors before being fed into the smoothing capacitors. This is a main power PCB. The build quality is excellent, featuring a clean and even solder mask, sharp silkscreen printing, and precise drilling and trace alignment. The board feels solid, well-finished, and professionally made. In addition, the isolation slots are accurately machined to increase electrical clearance and improve heat dissipation for the power components. Next, we will assemble the components onto the PCB. During the initial testing phase, it is recommended to use lower power Mosfet to verify that the circuit operates correctly. Once the circuit is stable and functioning properly, you can replace them with higher power Mosfet for full load operation. I used 3 5A bridge rectifiers connected in parallel to increase current handling capability and improve stability under high power operation. I am using 1F63OV CBB capacitors. However, you can also use 400 volts capacitors without any issues as long as the operating voltage is within the safe range. Choosing a capacitor with a higher voltage rating helps improve durability, reduce electrical stress, and enhance long-term reliability of the circuit. The remaining components are standard parts and are clearly labeled on the PCB. After completing the assembly, I will guide you through the testing and adjustment process right after a brief introduction about my partner, JLCPCB. I'd like to thank JLCPCB for supporting this video. Over the years, I've used JLCPCB's 1 to 4-layer PCB in many projects, and they've always been reliable with fast turnaround. Now, JLCPCB is making high-performance 6-layer PCB more accessible. With 6 layers, routing becomes cleaner and more efficient, increasing wiring density by around 30 to 50%, so you spend less time dealing with routing limits and more time focusing on your design. With free via-in pad technology and ENIC finish included, JLCPCB delivers professional-grade 6-layer PCB without the professional-grade price. If you want to try it yourself, you can get the latest coupon by clicking the link in the description below. After completing the installation of the input power section components, we will apply 120 volts AC to the circuit and measure the operating parameters. The voltage measured after the bridge rectifier should be approximately 310 volts DC. The voltage across each filter capacitor should be equal and around 150 volts. If there is a difference of about 5 volts, you should recheck the filter capacitors and the discharge bleeder resistors to ensure proper and stable operation. After verifying that all parameters are correct, we can proceed with installing the control circuit into the system. After complete assembly, the components and the control board will look like this. Next, I will supply 15 volts to the circuit. The waveform will be measured at the G-gate pin of the Mosfet using an oscilloscope to observe the output signal. Currently, the operating frequency is approximately 60 kHz. I will slightly reduce the frequency to ensure safe operation of the circuit. After changing the RT value to 20 kOhms, the output frequency is approximately 40 kHz. This is considered a safe operating frequency, taking component tolerances into account. A transformer removed from an ATX power supply will be reused and connected to the circuit. A small 1A fuse is installed at the current transformer position. In case of a fault, the fuse will blow to provide protection and prevent serious damage to the circuit. A 35-watt 12-volt lamp is used as a test load for the circuit. The actual waveform is measured at the transformer output, with a lamp used as the load. Reducing the operating frequency significantly improves the switching process, allowing the Mosfet enough time to turn on and off more reliably and stably. As a result, switching losses are reduced, and the Mosfet operates at a lower temperature during operation. At the same time, the risk of cross-conduction in the half-bridge stage is minimized, making the system safer and more reliable. In the next part, I will provide a detailed guide on how to properly wind the current transformer to ensure accurate current protection. After that, we will proceed with winding the main transformer, calculating the appropriate number of turns, and completing the entire circuit so the system can operate stably and efficiently. Thank you so much for watching this video until the end. I wish you success in building and completing your circuit safely and effectively. The schematic, documentation, and detailed parameters are available in the description below, and you can download them completely free of charge for your reference and practice. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to MD channel so you won't miss upcoming electronics projects. See you in the next video.